Hi guys, happy Craftmas! So today I am sharing a upcycle craft with you guys. So basically I'm taking something that was just like lying around the house. I tried to do something with it. I tried to um, paint it with some chalk paint. It was not working. So I'm going to try again with some acrylic paint and I think it's going to work. I've already done one coat of it on the sign. I'll show you below. And so I think this is gonna work. So I needed to put something on it. So I'm making something for my friend who is about to have a little boy. I'm so excited for her. So this is the SVG I'm gonna use. I just got it from Cricut. I did not want to subject you guys to me having to search for it. So here it is. So this is the SVG that I'm going to use. And so that is the nice thing about SVGs that are ready to go, is that basically we are ready to cut this out. One thing I do want to do is I want to change this black, and I want this to cut out in white. So all you need to do for that is jump over here and just click the layer that you want to change. Come over here where it has like this little color palette and just pick whatever color you want. So basically this is telling our machine, hey, we want to cut this out on a white mat, and this is going to be cut out on a yellow mat. So I'm going to now just size it accordingly for my sign, and I believe my sign is about 12 inches. It's like a circle. So I want this to, fill up a good chunk of it. So I think about maybe like 9.5. 9.5 by 7. Maybe a little bit thinner by 6. I think that looks perfect. So that is basically it. So we can come over here to make it. And you can see that we have our two mats here. We have our white mat, and then we have our yellow mat down here. So we can come over here to continue. So it's going to find our machine. I'm doing this on my maker, but you can do it on anything that cuts vinyl, because I'm going to be doing I'm going to be putting vinyl onto the sign. So the cut setting we're going to do is vinyl, and we're basically ready to go. So I'll switch you guys over to the camera so you can see how we're going to do this. Okay, so the paint that I have been using to paint this, honestly, I didn't know if this was going to work. So I was just like filming in hopes that it would. And I think this blue is going to work perfectly. This is only, I think, 2 layers, and it's still relatively wet, so you can still kind of see the pink underneath. But I'm going to wait for it to dry completely and go over with another coat. But this is the Artist Loft paint I used, it's just plain acrylic paint. I really like this paint. The chalk paint that I used initially it was just like peeling, and it was just weird how it was adhering. So I think this acrylic paint will work much, much better. And I'm really sorry I didn't take a picture of what the sign looked like before, but you could kind of see as I started to paint it, it was like a pink, kind of really, really opaque pink. So anyway, so that is the paint that we used. All right, so the vinyl we're going to use for our white mat is just this plain white 651 Oracle 651 vinyl. So I'm just going to put this onto my light grip mat. And don't worry, I'm going to trim this because it's very aggressive right now. All right, so we have our white mat, we have our white vinyl on our mat. So I'm just gonna pull over my machine. All right, so our light is flashing so we can load our mat. And we are going to cut. This is literally the schedule that I have for myself for this weekend to film all of my Craftmas stuff. Hopefully it all gets done. I do have scheduled time to cook in here. All right, so we'll unload our mat. Take this off. All right, so now we're gonna load the mat with our yellow. So this is for the moon, and this is also 651. So 651, if you are just starting out, is permanent. So pretty much you're gonna want, if you're doing decals, if you're doing signs like this, glasses, mugs, I mean, anything that you want to be permanent, you're likely gonna use some form of permanent vinyl. If you want something that's temporary, like maybe it's going on a wall or a phone or something, then you might want to use 631 or something that's non-permanent. But for the most part, I always use permanent vinyl. Alright, so that is done, so we can unload our mat. Alright, so before I start to weed this, I'm just going to trim all of the excess so we can save it. Alright, and then same thing with this. Really, we're only cutting out 2 things from this. Alright, so those can be set aside so we can start to weed out. I'll do our white mat first. So basically, I like to start by just pulling up a corner and just kind of getting rid of the biggest piece of the, you know, all the excess we really don't need. And then I'll go back in and I'll get all of the middles of these letters. So we'll just be left with the vinyl that we want to stick to the sign. And I'll probably have to come back to this in the morning because I don't think this will be dry. All right, so now we'll do our star. So I think this goes like on the bottom. And then we have the moon that will go on top. So we have everything weeded. We just need to do a couple more coats of paint on this and then it will be ready to go. So I will see you guys back tomorrow and we will finish this. All right, so this has had time to dry, so we're good to go. So now we can transfer this onto the sign. I think that will look so cute. So I'm gonna start by grabbing my transfer tape. So this is the Expressions masking transfer tape. It's like my all-time favorite. There are other ones too that I like, but this one is just so easy to use. I'll link where I got it below, but I know you can find it other places, and you guys have probably, if you're keeping up with these videos, you've heard that a million times because it's the only transfer tape I use. So, so this is how it's gonna hang. So I'll put this right here in the middle. So I'm gonna just peel off the transfer tape. Right. All right, so I'm just gonna put this as center as I can. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna do the middle first, then I'm gonna work my way out. All right, so I'm just going to stick this down really good. All right, so then I'm just going to peel transfer tape off. So cute. And I'll just use this same piece of transfer tape to transfer the moon and the star. All right, so we got the moon. Let's go this way. All right, so now for the moon, I believe it actually, the moon goes on top. So I'm just gonna stick this up here. Right. Then we'll do the same thing with the star. Okay, this is a little aggressive. I can definitely trim this. All right. I'll stick this down here. right. All right, so there we have our super cute little sign, super easy and quick. Well, relatively quick. We did have to paint and I had to come back to it the next day, but you know, whatever. So I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you give me a thumbs up. And as always, happy crafting and happy Craftmas.